What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I wanted to hop in here and talk a little bit about biking. I just got off the bike training with one of my athletes here in Vero Beach, Florida. And, she's just starting to get into wanting to get faster. She's in the senior games. She wants to get faster. But she doesn't have any parameters to measure, right? So we talked about getting a cadence monitor and making sure she had her heart rate strap on. So she's tracking her heart rate because she has been training by using speed alone. And she has been training by doing group rides and sitting in and drafting and pulling, of course, too, but averaging speeds that she really can't hold on her own. And if you train only looking at speed, you're missing out on a lot of information, right? Because speed is an outcome we have no control over in reality. So let me give you an example. If I asked you to do a workout and it was, let's just say 5 times 5 minutes at 20 miles an hour, and you went out on a out and back route and you had a headwind of 20 miles an hour and you couldn't even get close to 20 miles an hour for the 5-minute intervals because the wind was so strong, you would be feeling very frustrated and defeated because you couldn't hit the workout, right? And then on the way back, you might hit 25 miles an hour. So you're not really training, you're guessing at the proper effort to put out. So we don't train, and with full circle coaching and my athletes, we don't use speed. The only time we use speed is when we're in a group ride and we're trying to hold a specific speed, 18 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour, so that the group can stay together. So we do look at speed, but we definitely don't do it on race day, because on race day, you're training by yourself, you're racing by yourself, and you need to control yourself, pace yourself for the distance of the race that you're doing. And if you're focused on speed and speed alone, you most likely will burn too many matches and not have the result of the run you want or the race result you want, right? So what do we measure instead? Well, we measure heart rate, like we talked about. Got to do a heart rate test and know what your heart rate zones are. You can't just look at heart rate as it is. You got to know what that means relative to you as an individual and your fitness level. You can measure RPMs, revolutions per minute, how many times your foot goes around in a circle. That's really important, because if you train with low RPMs or you race with really low RPMs, you can greatly affect and negatively affect your run off the bike. So you got to be able to train your RPMs, low RPMs, high RPMs, and your sweet spot RPMs for your race day. And then the other thing you can train is your rate of perceived exertion, which is important because sometimes we feel like something's hard and then we look down and our heart rate's really low and our RPMs are not, you're not struggling, so there must be something else going on. Maybe you're getting sick. But the number one thing to measure, if you can afford it, is power, right? So power is the fastest way to get faster on the bike, bar none. And, power used to be less, well known. Now everybody has a power meter, right? Even the most beginner triathlete, because it's affordable. And you can also get one pedal or one crank arm, which is okay for a little bit, but you definitely want to have both so that you make sure both legs are producing equal power, because if one leg is doing all the work, there's definitely a leg strength imbalance that you want to correct. So power is where it's at. RPMs, heart rate, rate of perceived exertion. Those are all things that you're going to be measuring, or you can measure instead of speed. So let me know if you understood what I was talking about. It's just a concept that we use here in a full circle. And I will tell you, it works amazingly on race day, especially the longer the race, or any distance race, sprint, tri, Olympic, 70.3, Ironman. You have specific zones you want to hold and parameters you want to be looking at to have your ideal race. And when you look at all of them and leave speed out on the bike, of course, you will have a great result. All right, guys, happy hump day. Let me know if you understood it, if you agree, or if you have any other ideas about it. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.